sharing. DurianAsean.
Hi, this is Arlene, and we have here our ABC dialogue, Mr. Tan Wei Leng. He'll be talking about IPO, how to go public in Taiwan capital market. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
So he's actually the deputy managing partner for Cheng & Co. Chartered Accountants. He'll be sharing insights on Taiwan's capital market as well as the advantages and risks for companies to go public. First off, maybe can you give a brief introduction of Cheng & Co. What do you do?
Okay. Cheng & Co. in fact started in 1993. So we've founded by Professor Dr. Paul Cheng and Professor Dr. Chua. So in fact, a lot of people also ask, why our name put it Cheng & Co. So maybe I want to share a bit why they don't say it like put like Cheng and Chua. So in fact,
where's the Chua?
Yeah. So in fact, in the very beginning, they have already set a very long vision. They want to set this Cheng & Co. Presumed as a brand name by itself. So that's why they said Cheng and Chua sounds like no good. If Cheng and Co, then it sounds more fluent, or Chua and Co also not very good. So they put it Cheng and Co. So they agree on that. So that's why until now we put ourselves a Cheng and Co as a so-called as a brand name. And I think from 3 employees now we have about 250 employees. So we are actually expanding quite fast for the last 20 years. So we do provide so-called services like audit, tax, company secretary, and we're expanding to ease our client. We do also include like halal consultancy. We do like internal audit. We do financial planning. We also do like Australia migration.
You do?
Yeah,
migration.
So it's a good retirement country. And we also do like listing exercise in Malaysia. And I think last 2 years we're quite active in promoting Taiwan. That's why today we're going to share on this topic.
Yeah. So just give a brief insight into Taiwan capital market. How did you first get involved in this?
Okay, I would say it's by chance. Because back in 2011, we have actually a furniture manufacturer is our client, a very long client. So we like to explore listing in Malaysia. However, so we have explored with a few merchant bankers in Malaysia. I think it's not really supportive. They will say that this kind of industry is like high risk, and they will say like a sunset industry. So then the client asks further, so what will be the PE like? So for the layman, maybe they don't understand what is PE.
Yeah,
so
I don't understand what is PE.
So maybe explain a bit on the PE. So PE, let's say I give you a 10. So if a company earn a profit, let's say 10 million, for example. So PE 10 times 10 to give you, that means your company will worth like 100 million. So if the PE is give you like 5, so you worth 50 million. So then the merchant banker will say like it's about 5 to 7. Then the client said my book value is 80 million. So I haven't like do like revaluation on my property. So it doesn't worth. I have to spend $1 million, then only I get like 5-6 PE. So the client asks, as a professional, so what is your advice? Can you explore other country? So we have to take. Because it's our long client, so we have to do the best for them. So we explore like Hong Kong, we explore Singapore, we have explore like Taiwan, we explore like China as well. So end up we find that this Taiwan actually is a very good so-called listing platform for SME.
Okay. So what is actually Taiwan capital market? What is the current state?
Okay, for Taiwan, at this moment, I think they have over 1,400 companies listed in Taiwan, and they are actually performing quite well in terms of higher liquidity, in terms of higher PE for this SME. So they have a lot of people may not know. Taiwan is a small little island, but they are in terms of foreign reserve fund, they are ranked fourth richest in the world.
Oh wow, fourth
Yeah,
richest
it's
in the world.
about 390 billion US. So it's a lot.
It's even more than Singapore.
Yeah, it's even higher than Singapore. It's just like after the China, Russia, and Japan. So they are the number 4.
How did it happen to that stage? I mean, this is something that maybe a lot of Malaysians are not aware of.
Yeah, in fact, they actually a lot of Taiwanese, they are good in the business, so they actually started their business everywhere, not just in Taiwan. They like China, like instant noodle, all this is a big company. So in so-called in US, so in Malaysia, Vietnam, all this. So they actually encourage them to come back to Taiwan to list. So that's why all the capital actually flow back. So but in late 2008, they actually opened up to other foreigners as well, because Taiwan, they know the limitation on the economy. They are stagnant over the past few years. So they found that they need to find other opportunity to invest. So that's why they found they have to invest other than Taiwan country. So they started to explore. That's why they're promoting the Taiwan IPO to like Malaysia, to Singapore. I think last 2 years, they are quite active on that.
I see. So before we go to IPO, what is a GTSM, or the Great Thai Security Market?
Okay. For GTSM, in fact, is just one of the stock exchange in Taiwan. So in fact, basically, Taiwan, they got 2 stock exchange. One is Taiwan Stock Exchange, we call it TWSE. The other one, of course, just now you mentioned, Great Thai Security Market, which in short, GTSM. So these 2 companies actually, all of them are different authority. Both of them are main market. Or it's not like one main, one second board. It's not. Both of them are main market. So they actually serving a different scale of a company. For TWSE, they're actually focusing more on the larger scale. The minimum market capitalization will be, I would say, is 160 million and above. Where for this GTSM, I think their requirements are quite low to help those SME. So this is why the GTSM come for, and they are actually helping a lot of our Taiwan SME to become a public listed company, and they expand very fast, like Acer, like ASUS, or all these company. So their minimum requirement is very, very low. Maybe I would say the shareholders' equity is about 10 million ringgit and above, and the profit requirement also very, very low. You're surprised.
I see, really?
Only 400,000
Wow.
earning before tax, some more. So I think a lot of SME, they are more than so-called qualified to apply.
So how easy the accessibility of the Taiwan capital market, especially for Malaysians SME?
Okay. So for them, because they are the so-called Taiwan, so majority of the document, they are actually in Mandarin. So for those who want to explore Taiwan, I mean, first thing, they must have someone able to speak Mandarin and able to read Mandarin. So for them, is their accessibility, I think they are quite transparent. They're willing to share. So they'll tell you straight, like, this industry can or cannot. So for them to explore Taiwan, they must, I would say, the owner itself might have a very clear objective why they want to list in Taiwan. So for me, to list in Taiwan is just a beginning. You want to tap into the capital market. You want to raise funds from the capital market because they have a very low cost of funding. So for you actually to expand further and not to just after list that you stop there or you cash out. So that is a different approach.
On the Taiwan government side, why they are actively trying to get more foreign companies to come into their shores?
Okay. I think at the first so-called initial stage, the government actually encouraged those Taiwanese back to Taiwan to list. So this on the initial stage. So after a few years, so I think they also found that they're still on a limited. So they need more so-called fund to invest. So because Taiwan, in terms of foreign reserve fund, they are so huge. Then they have they have more than 1,000 venture capitalist company in Taiwan. You can imagine.
Wow,
so they got
that's a lot.
yeah, there's a lot of fund to invest, but where to invest? So now they actually open up in late 2008 to all the foreigner. They are welcome, like Singapore, Malaysia. As long as you fulfill that requirement, you're most welcome.
I see. So, moving to the IPO or initial public offerings, what is this? What is IPO?
IPO is in short, it's an initial public offer, they call it. And those who don't understand IPO, I would say it's a listing exercise. That means your share actually list in the market where you can freely trade in the stock exchange. Unlike a Sendirian Berhad, a private limited company, so you can't actually trade your share in the market. You have to sell it to your own so-called like family, all these. You cannot sell it at the Bursa stock exchange.
Yeah. In fact, the ultimate goal of a lot of companies is to achieve IPO. It seems so.
Yes. It depends on the objective again. So some of them they want to plan succession planning for the company. So they want the company sustain for more than 100 years because it continue the story of the company. So I don't see Malaysia a lot of company can sustain until 100 years. So I think it's a good platform for them to continue to raise fund and to expand to that stage. So it's one thing is continuous expanding. Then the second thing is succession planning, where you can get more people to join in. And I think the third one, I would say nowadays very hard to retain a good talent employee. So by going public and list your company, you're able to so-called issue an ESOPs. It's part of the benefit to the employee, so that the employee will have a sense of belonging to a company because they own the company share. So they would like to work more, and once the company gain more profit, they are also part of the stakeholder.
Yeah, so that's how they gain loyalties among
Yes.
their employees.
Yes.
Yeah, and how did Cheng & Co come into this picture, the IPO?
So we are helping the client from a very initial stage because I would say majority of our client base is I think I would say more than 90% is SMI SME. So we know that they also have some constraint on the budget, how much to expand. So we come into picture to help them. Why not we help to assess your company first? You don't directly engage a so-called underwriter or a merchant banker. Then you involve a lot of costs. So we help to assess and we bring the case to talk to discuss with the merchant banker. We even discuss with the lawyer on certain legal issues. It's discussed with so-called Taiwan auditor. We discuss with authority. Even we ask for opinion. This kind of industry, what is your view? So once everything confirmed, you are more so-called we are viable to list. Then only we ask the client. Then only you proceed further. So when you proceed further, of course, you have to look into certain housekeeping. So make sure the accounts are cleaned up. Make sure you paid a sufficient so-called tax. Make sure you comply to all the so-called legal requirements, all these compliances. And for Taiwan, having to say that the requirement is low, but you have to have a very strong corporate governance in place and so-called internal control system. So, for example, you know that you want to do a sales, but they want you to actually evaluate the customer, the new customer you bring in. Is it a good customer background or is it not? So they want you that kind of evaluation first. So I would say there's a pro and cons. I mean, for those family business, they will say, then it takes some time to bring in the business or all these things.
Yeah, that's true.
It's no longer freedom to do a decision.
But I mean, for Cheng & Co, right? What is your experience working with some of the Malaysian companies here in terms of IPO and going public in the Taiwan capital market?
Okay, at the moment, we have about 5 companies in the pipeline. We are helping them towards listing in the Taiwan IPO. So basically, I would say the first maybe is next year. The soonest will be next year. And why we take a so-called maybe a year or 2 years to plan? Because Malaysia company, a lot of them, they don't have a very good internal control, or they even don't bother.
Don't bother.
Yeah, because if they, for example, a lot of them you can see that they buy a lot of property but nothing to do with the business. This one, I like this one, I will buy. So once you have internal control, yes, once you have internal control, you can't do that. You have to assess why you need to buy this. Is it related to your business? Is it good to your business? So you have to plan accordingly. You have to plan forward. You have to think forward what you're going to do after you buy in. So it's not that kind of easy, but always I would say it's good if the Malaysia want to compete with the international market. You want to stay competitiveness. You want to sustain your business. I would say planning is also an important part. So that's why we have to actually help them to set up all these system in place so that they will fulfill all the so-called the requirements required by the authority.
So do you work also with other companies not from Malaysia, from other countries?
At the moment, no, we are quite focused in Malaysia because you want to make sure that all our clients, whatever we engage, we make sure that they actually list in Taiwan. This is our objective.
So it's still, you have to wait another 1 or 2 years in the process.
Correct.
Teach them how to plan.
Yes.
So going IPO, what is the advantages? There are a lot of stories of good and bad, but in terms of, I guess, in the Taiwan capital market context itself, what is the advantages?
In terms of advantages, there are many. Like for example, after you list, so you are actually one of the reputable company. So you raise your public awareness because they do you are a listed company. Then you want to deal with those customers. Also, they feel like different status. So this first thing. So the second thing, of course, once you're listed, you need to so-called like personal guarantor, like private limited company. So you can actually release your burden. So by go to corporate guarantor by the listed company or listed vehicle. And the third one, I would say just now already mentioned a bit, is ability to attract a good employee. Because, for example, if you got two job sort of opportunity, so one is listed company, one is a non-listed. So which one you choose? I believe it may not true, but I believe most of them will choose for a listed company. So these advantages.
So they gain the trust part of the people, right? Or the public.
Yeah, correct. So other advantages like you can when you need a fund to expand, so you need to go to the bank to borrow. You can actually raise the fund through capital market because there is a platform for you to raise a fund and continue to expand. And different with Malaysia, I will say they got a so-called SPO opportunity. We call it secondary public offer. Just now I mentioned IPO is the first time you list. So when the second time you want to continue to raise fund, so we call it SPO. So SPO, I think it's very hardly to see in Malaysia. So why? Because after the IPO, the price going down, then nobody have the so-called the mood to go second fundraising or this. But in Taiwan, if you compare the fundraise in SPO is much higher than IPO, and the cases in SPO also much higher than cases in IPO. That means they are very common in Taiwan on SPO. Another I would say another aspect you can see is you don't need to worry about the fund because whatever SPO you issue, they sure the market will take up.
So it's a guarantor lah.
It's something like a guarantor. It's not a guarantee, but it's I would say the fund is there when you have a good project.
But why Malaysian companies it's very rare for them to gain SPO?
Because I said just now, I think the pricing maybe they put it too so-called the pricing, maybe they put it to, I would say, the time they listed, I think they try to push it very high. So after list, so the company will actually, the price will go down. So when they go down, you want to raise a fund again, you want to issue a new share, I believe people will be afraid to take out. So in Taiwan, we actually advise our client, because the Taiwan, the market, after list, they will go up. There is a research, I think, last year to show that after listed, So how much percentage of the company actually the price go down? So in Taiwan is the less compared to Singapore and Malaysia. I can't recall the percentage, but I know that
But
Taiwan
is there
one of the lowest.
a reason, a factor to it, like why it is like that for Taiwanese?
Okay. In fact, the Taiwan part, how they do the valuations, they actually based on your so-called your future. What you're going to do. They want to know what's your future planning. So you have to plan like 3 years, 5 years ahead. So they evaluate your market so-called sustainability and the market share, whether it's true or not, before they determine the value. So that's why they don't put your value is too high, or they don't put it very low. Very low, people imagine that what's this company? Maybe it's not a good company. So they put it quite reasonable, so that investor, I will say Taiwan a lot knowledgeable investor, so they know that the pricing will be go up to certain value. So that's why they will so-called more willing to invest.
It's unlike our Malaysian situation, right? Everything is like very short term. It's just
very short term.
based on short term games and short term insight.
Yeah, because we deal with a merchant banker, they will tell us like, I don't care how good you are in the past. I just want to know how good you are in the future. I want to see your planning, your business plan. Show me your business plan. So it's very, very different.
Very, very different context.
Yes.
What about the risk factor of going public, especially advice to Malaysian companies?
I would say first thing they must ready for the listing, because once you get listed, so everything will be transparent. So even like directors, no doubt there's a so-called remuneration ban, but they still can estimate how much directors earn. So everything transparent. And if you have a huge contract, for example, you also have to do like immediate announcement to the authority, all this. So a lot of things that you have to get ready will be very, very, very transparent. Whatever you did, you have to responsible to the public, I would say.
Transparency is not an easy word in Malaysia.
Yes.
It's a very lacking word, I think, in a lot of the context in Malaysia.
But I don't comment so much on this. Okay.
Yeah.
So other risks like you may know, there is a possibility of taking over by some other company. For example, you have maybe a lot of shareholder, so you may because your share are freely can trade in the market, so they may sell it in the market, and people are actually plan to acquire a company, so they can buy from the market. So there's also a possibility. So I will advise my client, if you want to keep the company to protect the company, I would say they need to do some restructuring and to make sure that some of the share actually lock in. They cannot trade it in the market through like for example like private limited company as a vehicle to lock in the share.
So what kind of restructuring that you are referring to?
For example, you can use a private limited company to hold certain amount of share, for example, like 40% or 30%, so that under the private limited company, you cannot sell your share to the market unless you go through a members resolution or board approval before we can release to the market. So that is one of the way to protect the interest from taking over by other party.
Okay. So, talking about your organization, how did you, what kind of process that you are involved in when it comes to the IPO itself?
Okay, we actually assess how the company wanted to go for list. So just now I didn't mention on a pre-assessment, but that means before the company engage anyone, you see whether the company qualify or not in the first place. This one because we don't want the company to spend so much money on that. After that, at the end, then the merchant banker tell you, you're not qualified, so sorry, we can't do. So we don't want to have the kind of things happen. So after the initial stage where everything are ready, your company is a good company, you can actually apply for listing. So we help on the second stage, we have to do like housekeeping to make sure the accountings, everything up to date, and make sure that the accounting records are in proper manner. Because why you have to meet the submission deadline? No longer like Malaysia, private limited company, you have a 6 months for you to prepare the report. So after you list in Taiwan, you need to come out report in 2 months. So you need to have a very good system to assist. You need to have a very good accounting system in place. Otherwise, I don't think you got the time to rush all the financial report and you're able to submit on time. So this one, they have to consider. So that's why, to share another example, one of the company, so we helping them to sort out all this kind of issue. But we found that if you wanted to do it from the scratch, so it will take you like 3 years, 4 years. So it a longer process. So we also explore what is the system can help them. So that's why you bring in one of the ERP software, or it's an enterprise resource planning. I think nowadays also very hot on this topic because they found that Malaysia is a good market to explore.
Really?
Yes. Those days that's SAP, Microsoft Dynamics. Nowadays I think more and more competitor comes in to share this cake. It's a big market. So we bring in the ERP, which is Taiwan, the largest ERP software provider. 70% of the Taiwan listed company, they are actually using the software. So we have to help them bring up this software to implement. But after we bring the software, we have another challenge again. Because people are resistant to change. Why you want me to take a new system?
It's human behavior now.
Yes. Then again, we are stuck at how to proceed on. So we are not giving up. We also tell the board directors, you have we need all your commitment. So we don't mind. We spend a few days because we have a leadership center in Cheng through the Cheng Foundation. So we actually provide training. So why not we train your staff why you need to change? So that kind of change their mentality, how to shift their paradigm to more committed, more motivation to the staff. So I think at the end we are quite happy we able to cope and so-called went through this process smoothly. So at the end the software actually go live. So there's kind of challenges that they may face.
I see.
So the commitment from the board directors and from all the employees are very important. Because for software, most of the time failure because of a human factor.
Anything to add on about the IPO that people might, and also Taiwan capital market that people might not know, especially Malaysians?
Okay, I will share a difference between Malaysia capital market and Taiwan capital market. There are one difference is they want you to have your own internal audit department, of which you cannot outsource to third party. So you have to set up internally and you employ your own people. They must be a qualified internal auditor as well. So in Malaysia, you can actually you can outsource it. So that's why people don't bother. So,
is that the practice normally for Malaysians to outsource whatever it is?
We outsource the internal audit function to a third party like external auditor like us. That's why we also provide provide internal audit services. So we know that. So in Taiwan, we when we communicate with the authority, they said no, it's a compulsory for the company to set up internally. So we want them to actually really implement the internal control system. It's not just to show people I have all this process in place, I have all the SOP, I have all the system. It's not that. They want them to have a very so-called, they want to see your execution plan, they want to see your improvement plan. So if you have finding something that you need to improve, you have to inform the authority as well. Malaysia, no need so, but in Taiwan you have to inform. So these are weaknesses we find during the so-called internal audit review. So you have to so-called submit a proposal, and they want to keep track on your progress. How you implement, whether you implement, you said 6 months you want to implement it. So after 6 months, you have to submit a progress report that you already implemented. So they will keep track on your internal control very well. If they found that they're still not satisfied, they may send a Taiwan auditor come to the company to check.
Oh, it seems like the Taiwan government are pretty strong in its implementation of its processes, you know.
Yeah. That's why they have a standard guidelines. They break it down into 33 processes. So you imagine a company, even a SME, you have to manage 33 processes.
Wow.
So it's not easy.
It's extra work, but it ensures, effectiveness. And
yes, I would say at the end, if you improve the effectiveness and the so-called efficiency of the company, in fact, it's a good. I would say that even though it's not listed, I would say it's also a good to implement all this, because I saw their processes is actually help improve the efficiency. So it actually give you like a more so-called a clear guidance what you're going to do when you face this kind of issue. And they also have some risk management issue that you need to some measure in place to mitigate the risk. So you won't like suddenly like economy down and what happened, what am I going to do? No, they have all this in place. That means like something like contingency plan. What's your business plan? What's your market behavior? Your so-called your business, is it affected by the economy or not? They want you to more alert.
This is also very good business 101, I think, for any businesses.
Yes.
But what about the Malaysian side? Like, how the government keep track with it, the companies here?
In fact, the Malaysia also, I believe there is a so-called policy in place. They also want you to have internal control. They also monitor the market activity. When someone speculate, they will ask you. But I would say always, but it's my opinion.
It's okay.
So when it comes to execution, I would say Malaysia still need to strengthen. I mean, it's an enforcement part, how you do the enforcement on all this policy. I believe the government have I would say it's a good policy, very good SOP in place. But unfortunately, come to execution, so always is a lack on that.
So this is pretty interesting on the Taiwan capital market. I think that instill a lot of confidence, at least in me, when you explain like how efficient is it, the government and the capital market is. What are the other key areas that maybe Malaysian companies can explore other than the IPO and all that? I mean, you know better about the
another one is those companies, let's say they are small at the moment, but they have a very good project. Then they want to raise some fund to expand. So Taiwan, they have these so-called venture capitalists who actually they have allocated some fund to invest in this kind of a seedling company. They call it seedling company. So before the company actually going bigger, so they can invest now. For example, you need a fund, so you expand, you have a good project, so they do like a so-called feasibility study. So they cover like technical, they cover like so-called legal duty, they cover financial duty. Also good for the company, because why you say technical duty, when they come over, the technical duty actually cover this one is a good business. So for the businessman, you are not losing. At the end, you know this business is a good model or not. So once you pass over all this duty, then they will come to invest. So when they invest, of course, venture capitalists they are also looking for a profit. So it's for sure. So after they will ask you, and how is the exit plan? So you want to, after 5 years, you want to buy back, or you want to like listed. Once you get listed, they can get away, they can sell a share, they can get all the money they want. So this one also is a good opportunity for those SME who have a good project and you have a very limited fund. So you look for the fund. I think this is one of the way you can explore.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, in Malaysia, a lot of the young people, they aspire to be entrepreneurs and they have a lot of good ideas, but they don't have the funding.
Yes. Yeah.
And maybe Taiwan could be their way out for a startup.
Correct.
Isn't it?
Correct. Even just for your information, Taiwan bank interest rate is very low, or just 2%.
Oh, wow.
I think lower than our. If you're able to borrow from Taiwan, you put in the FD in Malaysia, you're also making money.
So Malaysian entrepreneurs, you know where to go if you want to expand your startup. If you have a great idea.
Yes. But it's a very good project.
So, anything to add on, about the topic, today's topic on the...
maybe they're more interesting on, how is the PE look like? When you say Malaysia is 7, 8, 11, so how about the Taiwan? Is it a very good PE? So, I would say Taiwan in average, the IPO PE is about 16 and above last year. So it's very, 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 very much different. So every dollar you can imagine, every million you earn, they give you 16 million. That means 16 years profit. They are giving back to you.
16 years profit.
Yes.
So any last words? Maybe you want to impart
maybe just to conclude. I would say in short, Taiwan capital market provide a very good platform for the SME. So I think it's worthwhile for them to actually consider and explore further with this kind of like liquidity of the market and the higher PE. So I would say it's a very good platform to consider. So anyway, thank you very much. You're welcome.
Thank you for coming here, Tan Wei Leng, and we hope for the best for Cheng & Co.
Thank you.
Welcome.